The Cleveland Charge back in action this Friday.
Good.
As they take on the Santa Cruz Warriors at Public
That's a big
Hall.
rivalry.
The Cleveland Charge are the NBA G League affiliate of the Cavaliers, the 5th season back in Cleveland. They have alumni like Sam Merrill, Naquan Tomlin, who are making major impacts on the NBA level. Their current two-ways, Tristan Enaruma, Riley Minix, and Olivier Sarr, are showcasing that the G League is home to future stars in the NBA. Get ready for a magical night on Friday as Public Hall transforms into Hogwarts. It is Harry Potter night. Some call it Harry Potter night. Bo likes to call it Harry Potter night. All those are happening on Friday, March 13th at 7 p.m. Presented by Nuevo. The first 1,500 fans receive a Charge scarf. Tickets are on sale right now at clevelandcharge.com. This ticket is so hot that Jason Lloyd has literally left his seat and is sprinting to the box office to get tickets. Steve, take the full screen. Jason literally left his seat. He
left his
sprinting
seat.
to Public Hall right
He's
now.
got to get those
Buy
tickets.
He said his son AJ needs a Harry Potter scarf so bad that he needs to get there before anyone else. Jason will be there Friday. If you want to yell at Jason for all the crazy things he said, you have a chance on Friday because I cannot confirm.
Oh, my God. You're going to tell people to harass him in person?
No, he's not going to be there Friday, so don't show up. But
that's true.
I will be there. That's a true story. I will be there on Friday for Harry Potter night with the Cleveland Charge. My accents are terrific.
Oh,
Jason, he's dealing with a small bladder right now.
We had to go get them tickets.
He's pulling.
You like what I did there, Tyvus, right?
Yeah.
It's funny that Jason leaves and we're going back to talk Cavs because I was going to start with him on this. But the reports around Max Strus are getting more positive and more positive. Bull, he is in line to play on Sunday for the Cavs as they host the Dallas Mavericks at home. Less than,
What do we got, 16 games left?
Saturday. 16 games left. 3 days away from a potential return. He practiced in full capacity last week.
Good for
He's
him.
gone through team-organized scrimmages.
I think it's funny that you had to use your fingers to count how many days it was till Sunday.
I thought today's Friday so many times, and then I thought it was Wednesday. My days are met. It's been a long week. With the change of everything, but days have been long. Tyvus, when you look at the Max Strus edition, the possibility of he returning on Sunday, how much of a difference does Max Strus make for this team? Is the difference in just winning a playoff game, winning a playoff series? Is it not that much of a difference considering the depth that they already have on the wing? How much do you think Max Strus impacts the Cavs' ceiling in the playoffs?
I think Max Strus' impact is astronomical, to be honest with you. I mean, you think about, we just talked about in the first segment, we were talking about Keon Ellis. He's not going to give you 5 of 8 every night. And Jason just sat up here before he went to the bathroom, was telling you about how that first 3 matters in the playoffs. Hitting that first 3, watching that first one go in, it matters. Well, Max Strus is out of him, Sam, Jalen Tyson, and Keon Ellis, he the only one, as you know for sure, he's got the playoff experience and final experience that he could get it done. So with that being said,
Jason got his tickets, his Harry Potter tickets in hand.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I absolutely think it's big for this team to have a Max Strus. Now, I'm not expecting him to come out on Sunday and just light up and go 5 for 5 from the three-point line. It's definitely going to take some time for him to get back into the swing, into the flow of offense and things like that. But I think having him for the playoffs is going to be a big addition if he is what he was before injury. Like if we get that, like, we got us a knockdown shooter that we can run sets for, that can get open and stuff like that. And I think that's a big addition.
I've been
Jason?
drinking coffee since 5:30 this morning.
No, nobody want to hear that.
Well, Jason,
I've been drinking water since 6.
Yeah, I'm
what do you
curious.
think about Strus?
I'm curious. I don't know what to think about him because what's he going to – I mean, he hasn't played all year. He can't be in NBA shape, right?
No, and that's
So,
okay.
Jason Tatum came back from a torn Achilles and played 29 minutes and 32
Yeah,
minutes.
Max Strus ain't Jason Tatum.
Thank you.
saying.
I mean, you really comparing those two guys?
In terms of being in NBA shape, I think it's a perfectly fine comparison. I'm not saying he's the player Jason Tatum is, but
Right,
he'd
but
be ready to come play that much.
What? Give me both guys' injury. Tatum was a torn Achilles.
Yeah.
And Max Strus had a Jones fracture
fracture.
in his foot. He broke a little tiny bone in his foot.
Yeah.
That has
okay.
been – it can be a very significant injury.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want. By the way, I say little tiny bone. I don't mean to denigrate the injury itself. It's just
It messed
it's
up
little
a
tiny
whole
bone.
year for Kevin Durant.
We'll see. I'm curious to see what he looks like. How is Jason Tatum played again? How many games has he played now?
2.
3. No, he played again after the Cavs game.
He's on a minutes restriction.
No, he's not.
JT?
Nope.
He's playing 27, 28 minutes a game.
Nope. He's not. I mean, they may be monitoring his minutes, but he's not under any minutes restriction.
All right. Well, if they're monitoring his minutes, he's under a minutes restriction.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not playing
40 minutes.
Yeah, he's not playing 38.
So he is just because they haven't announced it doesn't mean they're not being careful.
You should be careful. Of
course.
You should be careful.
Jaylen Brown tried to throw this man a oop at the beginning of a game.
Oh, did he? It didn't work.
It didn't. I think what it says is his first game back.
What's the question on Max? What's
How much can Max raise
It's
their
right
ceiling?
there. Oh yeah.
the report? Max Strus could return to the Cavs on Sunday.
What did he said? What does
much
that
can he
mean
raise
for
the
this?
ceiling?
I think he could be an important piece for them. When they were struggling before the Harden trade, I was talking to people who thought like they really miss Max. Max is sort of like the glue guy that can hold all this together. So I don't know that he goes back into the starting lineup. Maybe he does, but he just does a little bit of everything that this team needs, and I think it's been a big miss for him that he hasn't been around. And to me, there's still enough time to get him ready for the postseason. There's still enough time for him to get his legs under him, to get his win, to get into game shape, NBA shape, and hopefully find a little bit of a rhythm. They're not asking him to carry the load, obviously, with what they have around him. So I think it's significant. I think it's really significant that he's coming back.
Who started the three last night?
Last night it was Dean Wade, Sam Merrill.
It's been
So Sam's going. So if they was to switch, Sam would be going to the bench, or Max would start. If this was a playoff game, like if he was healthy.
You got the four, and then to me, it's between Dean and Max for that fifth spot, for the starting spot.
Which in a playoff game, who you rolling?
I would probably,
assuming Max is healthy.
I would probably take Dean for the defense and rebounding.
He disgusted.
But
It depends on the matchup.
It is. It's matchup dependent. And if he's not making shots,
Dean Wade has never done anything in the playoffs ever.
Okay, but if he's on the roster, he's starting right now.
I mean, it's just I don't understand.
You don't need him to score.
He's a regular season player.
You don't need him to score 18 in a playoff series. You need him to make 2 threes.
I don't have any
2 or
faith
3
that he
threes.
can make.
You got
2 threes.
faith that he can hit 2 threes?
I want him to prove me wrong.
I
until he
think
proves me wrong.
I think if Max Strus looks right down the stretch, I'd have him start in the playoffs.
It's just you could be right, because I like how it looked in the past with Dean as a starter. I just like the size that he brings, and some of for as big as they are with Mobley and Jarrett, this team struggles to rebound way too much.
Yeah.
And so he can help them with that. So, but I mean, again, it goes back. If you're not making shots, you can't play. You can't be on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, he does
and I have more faith in Max making shots than I do.
Exactly.
Dean.
So why was like a Tony Allen able to play?
Different era.
It's hard to play in
Straight
2026. It's hard to play if you aren't making shots. If you are not a threat to make open,
it's hard to stay. Dennis Rodman couldn't play now.
Honestly, I think he'd really struggle.
Yeah.
I think he would really struggle.
But what's funny though is early in his career he was a scorer, and then he became this insane character who just grabbed rebounds.
Yeah.
I wish I could go play in the NBA game in the playoffs just to see, shoot it, just to see what that pressure feel like. I'd be like, shoot it.
They would leave you so far over.
I know, and I want. Do you understand that if I hit that first 3, you ain't give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Tyler, right now, if you were in an NBA playoff game, how many points would you score?
0.
He was realistic.
I thought he was gonna say
0. Listen.
Yeah.
People don't understand. It is levels to basketball. You be
But not
sick.
baseball?
Yeah, that too. But no, because I was about to take Jay Crawford over the fence, but that's a whole nother
Jay Crawford's
story
not a
for another-
professional baseball player.
Well, I mean, he was pretty good.
He was very good, but he's 60 years old and
So
not a
what?
pro.
He almost went over the fence.
No, but we're comparing how you do in the NBA versus how you did against Jay. That's not an equal comparison.
He's a has-been.
Don't tell him that. He will come back.
Wow.
Strangle you.
That is fighting words right there.
I am too. It was 2 washed-up players that was playing.
All right, so Ty, you were saying the level.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but levels to basketball, if I would, like McNuggets be hooping with like guys that used to play in the NBA a long time ago and stuff like. I don't know how
The
you
NBA, Mike?
well
Or played college?
college.
I mean, I have hooped with guys who played in the NBA, but not regularly.
But like it's you go play with them, and it doesn't matter what you do defensively, they gonna make the shot. I can't play with people like that. Like I don't want to because like that's gonna make me really upset. Like here I am playing this great defense, and you just gonna make the shot no matter what I do. I don't want to play like that's the NBA. Like that's what it is in the NBA. Like people, they be out there missing and all of that, and people think, "Oh, I can get out there and take." No, you cannot. No, you can't. And I
think
know,
people really think
I
they can?
know for
Yes,
a
people do think
fact
they can.
that I would never like if we was at if I so happened to walk into Lifetime and I seen Donovan Mitchell and them out there, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sit this one out. I'm gonna wait till the has-beens come in here. I ain't. No.
All right. Well, I'm surprised. I thought you would have said you could score, but
No, I know I wouldn't. Now, I go out there and shoot it. Now, they're going to leave me open. I'm going to make one for sure.
if they defended
Like,
you,
if I was going up against
Would you be able to
if
get a
I
shot
was
off?
going up against Donovan in Lifetime,
Yeah.
I would post him up and try my fade. Now, I know I could get the shot
are
off.
you taller than Donovan?
Yeah, he's 6'1".
Donovan, yeah.
What are you?
6'3".
Oh.
Yeah. And he ain't gonna bully me because I'm in the weight room too. I do that. You want to play that game? I love that.
Obviously, you would not be able to stay in front of Donovan Mitchell. I'm sorry to say.
I didn't say stay in front. I'm talking about check me. I'm gonna get the ball. Give me the ball in the paint.
You think you could take him to the hole? In
I'm gonna
one-on-one?
post him up for sure.
I'm not sure you're moving, Don.
For sure.
So you play
You
Donovan.
don't think 260
Wait a second.
Tyvus Powell ain't moving Donovan?
Wait, Tyvus.
Crazy.
You play one-on-one with Donovan.
I ain't say I'm gonna win. I said I'm gonna
What's
post
the
him
score?
up.
What's the score? Final score?
What we going to?
You're playing at 21.
21-1.
You got one basket?
Yes, sir.
What do you think? You think Tyvus got one
Yes.
basket?
I think
Sir.
He would get it. Is it winner's ball or loser's ball?
What you want to do?
If it's winners, once Donovan scores,
Make
you
it
get
take.
I ain't getting it back. I ain't getting it back.
Sure. Yeah, you
Give me the
just-
ball first.
Just give it to him first.
Give me the ball first.
Hope for the best.
I gotta make sure I make this
Now,
shot.
okay, so you're backing him down. You're not trying to shoot a three.
Yeah, no, I ain't shooting no three. Going
Are you
straight
using
to
an
straight
NBA
post.
ball or a regular ball?
Does that
huge
matter?
difference.
Does that matter to me?
Yeah, NBA balls suck.
I guess I would give Tyvus a chance to score.
I'm getting a point.
He was a pro athlete. It's not that long
Yeah,
ago.
I think
exactly.
he can get a point.
You know.
for sure.
I'm getting a point.
I'll give you a
I ain't by any means. He gonna wipe the floor. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
be over with. But I'm definitely scoring.
I'll give you 1 point. I wonder what Donovan would say. You got to ask Donovan that.
Do I have permission to show Donovan this clip on Sunday?
Absolutely.
Actually, I'll show him. I'm not going to be there Sunday.
One
I
point.
feel like Donovan would strip the ball from you. Potentially.
He might be crafty enough
Yeah.
to do that, but see, you gotta keep it high.
His
I mean, you're not
wingspan's
that much taller
He's
than
sh-
him.
he's short.
He can jump. He can probably jump higher than you,
No,
no?
you gotta get that ball.
Yeah.
He could definitely.
Watch out. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know why. I
Look,
said
I've been
that.
watching clips.
Like I wasn't sure.
I've been
He's a
watching.
slam dunk champion. Like,
Yeah.
he's jumping higher than Ty.
He ain't.
Hey!
Hey!
Donovan won a slam dunk championship?
Didn't he win a slam dunk championship? Yeah.
I know he did the
I didn't know that.
Vince Carter dunk and like honored him by having his jersey. I'm pretty sure that was him. I don't know if he won that year though.
Donovan Mitchell, yeah, it was the 2018.
At least he
slam
did
dunk
it, unlike
champion.
LeBron.
Yeah, 2018 won it. His second year.
1 point, Donovan. 1 point. That's it. You can win 21-1 for sure, but I'm scoring a point. I'm sorry.
You got to give. By the way, Mike, you got to get when you talk. If you show Donovan this, you got to give him the context that obviously Tyvus was a
I will.
professional athlete. You know,
Listen,
it's not like he's a slappy.
This is gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. This may be an off-season project. I'm not sure I'm having enough one-on-one time with Donovan in the locker room.
Right.
Explain who Tyvus is. Show him the clip.
Yeah.
It's a long clip.
Yeah.
You
This may be
cut
an
it down.
off-season.
You gotta
1 point.
Cut it
Y'all
down.
don't think I can get 1 point?
I think you
I
might.
would get 1 point.
Okay.
I think you might. Yeah. Unless.
You pushing it.
All right, Mike.
Last thing on Strus, then we'll move on and talk a little Guardians.
That's the most realistic I've ever heard you.
I know. I'm a little.
I respect.
stunned right
listen,
there.
basketball. I respect them. Like I will never diminish what they do because they are really good. It's
They're amazing.
ridiculous to see
Yeah.
how like you watch them play like pickup basketball and they don't miss. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you see like guys that we think of being like stiffs in the NBA, like Brian Scalabrine,
He said
and then he
it all
goes to
the
the
time.
park,
Yeah.
and then he just
You just
kills
won't
people.
miss. Yeah.
When I was covering the league, there
Yeah.
was still about probably 8 to 10 arenas where we sat courtside.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing like sitting courtside watching an NBA game, watching these guys fly up and down the floor and do some of the things they can do is unbelievable.
I sat courtside once. I was invited. I certainly did not pay for the ticket. Like kind of between the basket and the bench, on the sideline. And Kevin Love almost fell in my lap. This is LeBron Love days. And it was an amazing experience.
It's unbelievable.
By far the best up close and personal sporting event you could be at.
I'll tell you what else is amazing to see in person, especially with great seats, which I did one time. Boxing.
Man,
you don't realize watching that on TV.
To go to a boxing match.
This was like a lower tier event.
I need Abdullah Mason to get something in Cleveland. So
I saw a heavyweight boxing match. I was sitting right on the ring. It was at the Turning Stone Casino in upstate New York. And these were two heavyweights. I can't think of their names, but at the time, they were like heavyweights that had at one time been good, like not elite, but good guys. And they were both kind of towards the end, and they were fighting each other. And especially with the heavyweights, it's every punch looked like they were getting hit with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And on TV, it doesn't seem that intense.
So
but
I was watching a clip on Instagram the other day where it was COVID and it was like a boxing match going on, and you could hear every sound that day when it
because there's nobody there.
And dude knocked dude out. And I was like, yeah, this is different.
You remember Kelly Pavlik? Were you here for that?
Yeah.
You remember him?
Yeah. I wasn't here, but
he was fighting in Youngstown.
Yeah.
And I covered it for the Associated Press. I don't know anything about boxing. I was like, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was.
That is intense in person.
We were sitting ringside for that. That was something else.
And what's funny to me, the worst in person sport is football.
Yes.
It's the worst.
Cap.
I'd much rather watch on TV.
Cap.
It's not the worst in person sport.
Not if you on the sideline.
Well, if you're on the sideline,
you don't have sideline passes. Back to Strus real quick, though.
Yeah.
In terms of what he brings to the Cavs, he is kind of the middle of a bunch of different Cavs role guys in that 3 spot, right? Like Dean Wade's defense rebounding, not a lot of offense. You got a guy like Sam Merrill brings the shooting and the spacing, but rebounding-wise, defensively-wise, a little suspect. Jalen Tyson's kind of in between, but hasn't proven it at the NBA playoff level yet. Not the same position as Dennis Schroeder.
Well, neither have Dean Wade and Sam Merrill.
Fair, but at least they've had games in the playoffs where they have existed.
Right.
And I used
where they've existed.
Existed as
I like that.
Experienced.
Yeah. Strus is kind of the happy medium between them all. He gives you, in theory, if he's the old Strus, the shooting. He's not the defender Dean is, but he's not a slouch defensively. He's a good playmaker for his position as a secondary ball handler creator. He's a little crazy, which I think that starting 5 needs. Jarrett and Evan and Donovan and James don't have that little bit of crazy that I think a starting 5 kind of needs at times, which is why I go back and forth on whether I think Dean Wade could be that 5th starter. And he can be a guy that picks up and give you decent point of attack defense, which last night against Orlando we didn't talk about. I saw a lot of people saying, what the hell is Mobley doing defensively? Like, what a bad Mobley defensive game. Sure, not his best defensive game yesterday, but when guys are getting blown by on the perimeter and he's having a step blown by on the perimeter?
No. Go ahead.
I think I said something.
Yeah.
When guys were consistently getting blown by in the perimeter and he has to step up and help when they dump down behind him, that's not on Mobley. You got to stay in front. So he gives you kind of a little bit of the best of everything. And if he's the same player he was, there's no way he's not one of the guys.
Plus, he's the most. We know he can do something in the playoffs. We don't know about the other guys. So, all right, Max, good to have you back.
You hate
Sunday.
You hate Dean Wade.
Primetime.
I just don't. I think he can't play when it matters.
And it's crazy because if you go see him at Lifetime, he would score 50 points.
Oh,
anybody out there, it's ridiculous.
That's what he looks like. He looks like the elite player at Lifetime Fitness.
Fair enough.